The No More Heroes series from Grasshopper Manufacture and Suda51 has always been a wacky, spectacular caper. Travis Strikes Again is no different. The main character of Travis Touchdown is an over-the-top stylish dude and a lover of movies, anime, and wrestling, who always ends up in the most ridiculous dilemmas. With meta jokes and straight-up crazy references galore, Travis Strikes Again No More Heroes is an insane ride. While the same goodness of the No More Heroes series still holds true for Travis Strikes Again No More Heroes, the game plays a bit differently this time. This game in the franchise isn't considered a numbered title, but still ambles into the overall arching story, somewhat akin to Kingdom Hearts' Chain of Memories, where it serves its purpose as an in-between adventure, but clearly becomes more relevant later on. It was a smaller title that was released on the Switch in 2019, but re-released on other platforms later on and sealed the deal for No More Heroes 3. Unlike the other games in the series, it plays from a top-down perspective and sees you hacking and slashing your way through levels more so than the other titles where moves are unleashed in a more methodical manner. 7 years after No More Heroes 2, Travis has shut himself out from the world and is living in a camper out in the forests of Texas with his now overly plump cat Jean. His peace and quiet are unexpectedly abrupted when Batman barges in with the hopes of killing him for revenge for killing his daughter, Batgirl, during the events of the first No More Heroes. During their scuffle, an item that was previously given to Batman from his benefactors reacts to a haunted gaming console, the Death Drive Mark II, in Travis's possession, and they both get sucked into the datascape. The console AI, Death and Drive, explains that they need to collect the 6 Death Ball cartridges and complete their accompanying game in order to grant a wish, which Batman was already planning on doing to wish for his daughter back, since he already has one of the Death Balls. In order to even get out in the first place, Travis and Batman team up and create an uneasy alliance to beat the games and find the Death Balls. The story is as insane as ever, but really allows for even wackier conjuries. Even if this story is supposed to be a gap filler, I feel like it might be the most important so far, as it entangles and solidifies Suda51's universe of games in the most hilarious and satisfying ways possible. Travis as a character is explicitly over the top in a good way, and also has some very personal and thoughtful monologues that intricately gives him a complex and amusing disposition. Travis's convictions and interactions with other characters he runs into on his way to collect the Death Balls are always amusing to witness.
You bastard! Quit trying to butter up the gamers! Your fight is here in the real world! Son of a bitch! Nice work, dickhead! What the shit?
Travis Strikes Again has a very stylish intro that never lets down until the very end. After completing a Death Ball cartridge, you need to go out into the world and find another one. These cutscenes are played out like older text-based adventure games. There is a lot of dialogue during these sections, so that means there's a lot of reading. But if you are familiar with Suda51's style of games, you'll know that the unconventionalness is usually the best part. The gall of the game to open up and reveal itself sometimes makes the entire experience endearing and ingenious. The presentation of the gameplay is pretty standard, but the execution isn't the best. I play the game by myself, but it's built as a co-op game with one player controlling Travis and the other controlling Batman. So that means while I was playing by myself, I was sometimes experiencing some awkward combat and fighting arenas being unduly large. Travis has a melee attack where he can swing his beam katana to deal damage to enemies. After a set amount of times you swing it though, it'll need to be charged back up to even output any damage again. Travis is equipped with a device that is the counterpart of the Death Drive Mark II, the Death Glove. Slotting chips into the Death Glove grants Travis a variety of abilities, like area of effect or crowd control attacks, along with abilities such as conjuring a healing ring or being able to shoot a beam out of his sword every time he swings. Travis can also perform some of his famous wrestling moves as finishers after completing the correct QTE on a dazed enemy.
in peace.
You win!
The enemies in the game are known as bugs, of course, since you are inside of a video game console. They come in different shapes, forms, colors, and sizes, and can be formidable when you have a few of each type to deal with at once. There are some that are weak and shoot you from afar, there are some tall enemies equipped with swords that like to get up in your face, and there are some bugs that will explode if you don't take them down fast enough. Using your abilities and leveling up whichever character you are using can make swatting down bugs a breeze, but some of the later combinations of enemies can prove to be difficult to vanquish effectively. While the gameplay is fun, the hack and slash element doesn't work as well as you want it to. Enemies are too small with the way the camera is positioned. Their color combinations make it so they blend into themselves. Because of this, you sometimes can't see when they are attacking, with the addition of a lot of your attacks and abilities being incredibly flashy. It's more than just a get good situation, especially while playing on the harder difficulties. It doesn't seem as balanced or thought out when the RNG dice are rolled in the opposition's favor. The enemies can just completely obliterate you. The sense of space gets completely thrown out the window when you reach a 2D combat section and you are fighting in a 3D area. Unfortunately, I believe that it is the game's biggest deterrent. While the overall concept for each level is individually original, there is nothing here that breaks any ground, which is disappointing given how the story is set up and how design-wise, Suda51 games are usually thorough. The levels show some cute degree of artistic comedy, like some platforming sections see you jumping on donuts, but there is nothing here that fully realizes the vision of you adventuring in a defunct gaming console. The levels also overstay their welcome by going on and on after fully exhausting all of its creative options, making you repeat tasks ad nauseum. Worlds could have been so much crazier, imaginative, and clever, though it gains somewhat of a pass since it was more of an in-between game to gauge interest in the series and to form some kind of funds to continue it, with Suda51 even saying that No More Heroes 3 wouldn't happen if Travis Strikes Again wasn't successful. The music in Travis Strikes Again isn't as prominent as I would like it to be, because of how fabulously lively and profusely diverse it is. It deserves a listen on its own. You have a mix of some smooth hip-hop beats, some thrashing rock guitar sections, some slow jazzy western tunes, as well as some jumping techno bops. Suda51's universe welcomes all sorts of melodies, and they are all wedded to the style of the games beautifully. Sound design is also brilliantly crafted with classic game crunchiness and synthetic notes filling out the vibe of playing an older video game console. Travis's abundance of expletives and buried and named trademark moves he yells during combat while he is wildly swinging his sword around are always ludicrous and entertaining. I had a lot of fun with my time with Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, and there is a lot of replay value here, but I think it might get a little boring sulking through the dull levels over again if you are playing by yourself. The story is deftly written and the music is fantastic, but the caliber of the mix of exhausting gameplay and confusing combat may leave you weary. However, Travis Strikes Again strikes a deserving balance between smart delivery and over-the-top action that is not often seen in the gaming space that makes it more than worthy enough to be given a whirl. I give Travis Strikes Again No More Heroes an 8 out of 10.